Hey guys! I'm about to go to sleep. It is like, what time is it? 2:11 in the morning. Here, let me get my charger. Anyways, put my charger on. But I'm tired, it's late, and I thought I'd share my story of how I was a huge ass meat eater to a vegan. So, like most people, we're raised to love our dogs and cats and eat cows, chickens, and pigs. And my family is no different. And there's like a lot of people will say like, oh yeah, we eat this, we eat this, we eat this. But even if you have like a Western diet, or you're from like a Japanese heritage, or you're from a Russian heritage, or whatever heritage you have from your ethnicity, in the end, everybody eats meat, cheese, and dairy. So no matter what ethnicity you have, you all eat the same stuff. So yeah, but so my mom like loved animals, but she fed me animals. And if I can go back in time, I just wish I was educated, because I really did have a big heart for animals, but I wasn't there. I was just very, very desensitized, and I wish I could go back in time and at least educate myself that, hey, the chicken nuggets you're eating in the freezer are from chickens. Because when I used to eat meat, I honestly saw their bodies as a product that I'm going to cook. I never saw them as a once living being that was sentient. I just saw them as a product at the grocery store, and that's all that was there. I mean, I would say that maybe 1% I knew they were animals, but a big percentage I really didn't make a connection, because at my house we had a pet pig, and his name was Jojo Jr., and he was the sweetest pig ever, and I loved him so much. And I'd come over to him and I would pet his stomach and just give him lots of love. And at the same time, I'm eating like pig flesh, bacon, ham, all the same thing. And I would eat the pig's body parts, and I'd be petting Jojo Jr. and just like, oh, I love you so much. And there was just this big disconnection. Like, I saw Jojo Jr., my pet pig, as a friend, not food. But I would eat Jojo Jr.'s relative, So I had this big disconnection, because my neighbors outside had these chickens, and every time we would come near the window, these chickens would come, and I would feed them bread and snacks, and they're so cute. I was like, oh, they're so cute. I love them so much. Like, I really loved these chickens that came to my window, and I didn't make the connection, like, hey, you're eating chickens, like, because I would be like, oh, these are so cute chickens, and then I would go like eating like Wendy's and stuff. So I didn't have that connection. And a lot of people that make fun of me now for being a vegan, they don't realize that I was like a humongous meat eater, and I actually never ate any vegetables at all. Like, I never ate any vegetables. I just ate animal flesh and their secretions, and that was it. And I was very, very unhealthy. But some people go vegan for their health, some people go vegan for the environment, but for me, I went vegan 100% for the animals. But yeah, back in the time, I was just a big ass meat eater, and when I tell people how bad I was, they are shocked. They're like, what? Because I used to like literally chew on bone marrow, and I used to like eat chicken blood, and I would get medium rare, and I would suck on like crab poop and eat their like I would chew on their lungs and stuff. I was really weird, and I chewed on the bones of the chickens that I would eat. So you can see there's a very big disconnection between the chickens that I was like fawning over outside to the ones I was eating. Very big disconnection. Like I said, I saw those chickens outside as a friend, the pig, my pet pig Jojo Jr. as a friend, and then I would eat the animals, and I saw that as a product. I never saw them as like an animal. I saw it as a product. And most people today actually just see, you know, they just go to the grocery store and they see this product neatly packaged, and they don't think about, you know, where this is coming from and who suffered for this, because all animals are unique and they all have their own personalities, so they're all different and all sentient. So so this is where I started. So I really claimed to be an animal lover. I said I love animals, I want to rescue them, I want to save them, and I'm still eating them. So I'm like claiming to love animals while I'm paying people to kill them. Like, what? But I would always say that, even out, even as I'm eating their bodies. I'm just like, oh, I just love animals so much. Like, I want to help them, I want to love them, and just rescue them. That's who I was back then, and it's so embarrassing, but it's so true. And some of the videos I have in the past, you know, I'm ashamed. I personally am ashamed. I can't even look at the videos that I had in the past because I'm so ashamed of myself, of who I used to be. Like, it's so embarrassing and shameful. And all of those victims that I caused their suffering, I'm very sorry, and I can never bring back, you know, the lives that I took. And but to this day, I fight for the animals, and always will be. But if you don't know, it's called supply and demand. When you demand, you know, beef, chicken, pork, when you demand it, you're making people supply it for you. And in order to supply this for you, they kill innocent animals, and it's fucked up, and it's really bad for our planet and our health. But so that big disconnection, very big. I remember this one girl, I used to be a cashier, and this one girl told me how she's a vegan, kind of. I was like, vegan? And that's where it clicked in my head, like, oh, vegans don't eat meat. But I still didn't really consider animals in the situation. I'm still very desensitized, so I just saw them as products still. But it did leave a light switch in my head, because I'm like, vegan. So I kind of considered vegan as vegetarians, but there's a big ass difference. But, you know, it still left the switch in my head. So that's really good. And after a while, I started to try like vegetarian products, because I thought they were vegan. I didn't know the difference, but now I know. And vegetarianism is okay, but the dairy industry, the egg industry are both extremely cruel, and yeah, it's no better than the meat industry. So don't support that and go vegan. But I didn't know back then, so I started to eat like these meat-free products. I was like, pretty good. Maybe I can go vegan. But for a while, I was like, you know, like everybody else, like, oh, we're omnivores, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, the shit that people say to me now, some of the stuff that I did say to myself, I didn't go off to people and be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, I encounter a lot of haters, now, and it's really sad. Like, when you speak up for violence, and you speak up for murder and oppression, and then people are telling you to kill yourself, like, what the fuck is wrong with this world? Like, I'm speaking up for murder and oppression and violence, and you're telling me to kill myself? Really? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah. Anyways, so, where was I at? Anyway, so I started to eat some meat-free products, and I actually really like them. So that's when it started to work for me, and then I would start saying to myself, like, yeah, one day I can go vegan, one day I will go vegan. But I still had all these stereotypes that people say to me now, like, oh, we need to eat meat, oh, expensive, and none of those things are true. And do your research, guys, do your research. But so after a while, I still ate animals, and I was very, very heavy set. And now that I look back at my old pictures, I'm just like, ew, like, I was just so heavy. And I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? And I had a lot of health issues back then too. I had a lot of health issues. And I would eat like I would eat these animal products. And I didn't feel good. My body was telling me, hey, you know, this is not good for you. You're killing yourself. And I was just like, ugh. But after a while, I gained a lot of weight. More so than already. And a lot of my coworkers were telling me, like, are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? And I was just so in denial that I was so overweight that I was getting so many pregnancy tests. Like, I must be pregnant. This is the reason why I'm so fucking fat. But no, the reason why I'm so fat is because I'm eating all these animal products. And it's just like, you know, when you're a kid, sometimes you can, like, you know, stay skinny, even though you're clogging your arteries. But sometimes it hits you, and that's when it started to hit me more and more. I got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I had a lot of health issues, like acid reflux, IBS, just overall felt like shit. But so I didn't want to be this, I didn't want to be fat anymore. And I would keep saying one day I want to go vegan, one day to go vegan, but I thought it was just so hard and impossible. Like, how can I go vegan? Like, but in reality, it's not at all. It's so easy. But so I started to, like, kind of transfer to a pescatarian, but in reality, it's all bad for you. Fish, seafood, it still has cholesterol and mercury, and basically the ocean is like a giant toilet bowl, so you don't really want to eat that. But I didn't know back then, so, you know, I started kind of being pescatarian, and so I was doing that, and one day I saw this girl on Instagram. I think Molly Cyrus actually, like, talked about her on her Instagram, so I was like, oh, what's this person? So I checked her out on Instagram, and lo and behold, it was a hunter, and she was, like, posing near these beautiful dead animals that she murdered. She's posing near them, she's smiling, she's so happy, and I was just so shocked. Like, what the fuck? Like, I knew that some people did things to animals, but not, I didn't really make this connection because I was so desensitized. And I was just so shocked, and I was seeing all her pictures of her smiling near their bodies. It's like, what the fuck? So morbid. And at that moment, I made a connection, like I don't want to harm animals anymore. I don't want to harm animals anymore. So that's when I decided to go vegan. And I still didn't know much about veganism, so after that, I just did all my research about veganism. I was like, okay, so this is this. And over time, I learned about veganism. And, like, now, today, I don't really crave animal flesh. I think it's gross. Actually, it is gross. But, I completely changed person now. Like, I used to never eat vegetables at all. And now I'm craving, like, kale chips and it's like, yeah. So, I've been vegan now for 1 year and a couple months, and it's been really good. And I'm really proud of myself because I came from a person who chewed on bones of animals and never ate vegetables. Like, yeah. So when people say, like, oh, I can't go vegan, like, literally, I went vegan overnight. That one night I went vegan, and I never looked back. I'm just like, fuck this shit. Like, fuck animal cruelty. It's not worth it. And today I'm an ethical vegan, and I'm also an animal rights activist, and I encounter a lot of haters. But that's okay. I don't really care. Like, I'll just be scrolling through my Facebook, through my Instagram, and you know how people leave comments, even my YouTube channel. I'll get, like, comments like, go kill yourself, eat meat, bitch. And, you know, I feel really sorry for people who think that way and who say these things. To go out to a person to tell them to kill themselves is really, like, crazy. Like, how are you going to go to a stranger and tell them to kill themselves? Like, really? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, especially since I'm speaking up for animals that are being murdered for no damn reason. And they're like, oh, go kill yourself. Like, really? If people were smart enough, they would know that eating meat is unnecessary. It's cruel. It's also destroying our one planet that we all live on together, and no one else, there's no other place to go when this planet is destroyed. We only have one planet, and people are destroying it by eating meat and dairy. And after that planet's gone, we're fucked. And also, it's, like, literally killing everybody. So, when you eat meat, you are not only killing an animal, you're killing our planet, and you're killing yourself, which means, basically, the animal gets its karma. So, to you guys. Anyways, But so that's how I went.